Hey, what's up, motherfuckers? It's your boy RJ, and this is PSA Clips. And gotta send a little, I got a shout out to everybody that loved the ass eating video out there. You know, even my damn dad hit me up on the ass eating video and was like, yo, what is this about? Like, Pops, it's a video, man. It's about ass eating. Yeah. Don't you hate that shit? Like when you do something on your fucking Facebook and your parents come along and hit you up on that shit, like, what are you talking about? Like, god damn it. Like, don't embarrass me like that. Shit. Like, you know what I'm talking about. Fuck you think I'm talking about? I'm talking about ass eating here. So you're like, oh shit. They gonna embarrass me and shit. But anyway, now he didn't embarrass me. He was just like, you know, what's going on? Man, what's my son talking about? Like, come on, Pops, man, don't act like you ain't never ate no booty. Pops, don't fucking hit me up or call me for that comment. It was a joke. All right, don't be trying to hit me up talking about I ain't never ate no booty, boy. What you talking about? When I see him, I'll pop you in your head. Like, don't call me. It was a joke. Just joking. Just joking. Just caught me looking at something. Just joking though. Anyway, I had to do a little comedy in the beginning of this because this video is going to piss a lot of people off, mainly white people. And I know I got a ton of white friends that are probably going to be like, but RJ, why are you talking like this? Can't believe you are talking like this of all people. You. Look, I am tired of the denial of white privilege. So I'm going to break down white privilege in this video. Because a lot of people, Caucasian folks, believe that white privilege does not exist. And it's been existing for years. You know, but they think that white privilege is, because I'm white, I can do whatever I want. And because you're black, you can't. Or because you're Spanish, you can't. Because you're Asian, you can't. If you were white, you could. But because you're not white, you can't. And that's not really what it is. You know what I mean? That's what it's perceived to be by Caucasian folks. But it's not that. That's not white privilege at all. I mean, it dabbles in that a little bit, but it's not that. White privilege is a whole different monster. So, for the Caucasian folks, I'm going to explain white privilege. Because a lot of you motherfuckers don't know what white privilege is, but you steady denying it like it doesn't exist. But if I explain it to you, maybe you'll understand why we say white privilege exists. Because most black people know what white privilege is there for and why it exists and why we say we need to get rid of it. Because all it's doing is causing problems in America. Alright, so now first of all, before I even break it into explaining, there's a guy who actually explains it way better than me. And he happens to be Caucasian. But it's a guy who can explain what I'm explaining way better than me. His name is Tim Wise. If you haven't heard of him, I'm telling you now. Brilliant guy. His last name is Wise for a fucking reason. Not because he owns fucking Wise. I know there's a motherfucker out there. Does he own Wise? The guy that owns the Wise Markets? He got a video out explaining white privilege? Like, no, motherfucker, no. He's not the guy that owns Wise. Alright, his name is Tim Wise. Look him up on YouTube. He's got a bunch of videos on YouTube explaining white privilege and just going into detail of this shit. So just in case you don't understand what I'm saying, watch his videos. He might be able to break it down to where you can understand it better. Now, essentially what white privilege is today is it's perceived to be, and it's not really this either, but it's perceived to be because you're white, it's easier for you. And because I'm a minority, it's going to be 10 times harder for me to do what you do. So it's not like, hey, you can't do it. You can do it, but if you were white, it would be a lot easier. That's what it's perceived to be today, right? Now, the truth is, it depends on what type of white person you are. Because, honestly, doesn't matter if you're white or black. It's about this paper. How much of this you got? If you got a lot of this, your skin color doesn't matter no more because you got a lot of this. Now, in the 1600s, and this is how white privilege started. In the 1600s, everybody was slaves except for the rich. So, whites were slaves, blacks were slaves. If you were poor, you pretty much was a fucking slave. Right? And you worked for your freedom. Because the rich felt like they owned you. They said, look, you want to be free? Well, you got to work for it. You don't get your freedom. You got to work for it, then you become free. Right? What happened was that the poor started talking and saying, wait, hold on. Why are we out here slaving our ass for this rich bastard back there who does nothing but collect this money? We don't even get none of the pie, and we're working for freedom that we should already have. Why are we working for this guy? And they started talking and they started coming together. So you had blacks and whites who were slaves coming together saying, hey, we don't want to do this anymore. Why are we working and why are we enslaved when we should already have freedom? Right? Now, if you were a rich person back in those days, the 1600s, you had to be very intelligent. So being very intelligent, these rich individuals seen that the whites and blacks were coming together and there was about to be a revolution. Now, they were outnumbered. They knew they were outnumbered. They sat back and said, look, we can just kill them all. But then the problem came to, if we kill them all, who's going to be out there working? Because I don't fucking want to work. I'm too rich to be out there working. I just want to collect this paycheck. You know, well, not paychecks back in those days, but I just want to collect this money and don't have to worry about working. That's what we have these slaves for. The second option was, well, how about we get those lesser white folks that we don't really like anyway, but we tell them because they're white, they're better than the blacks that's out there. And then we make them think that their whiteness means something. So that means we give them a little bit of land, you know, give them a little bit of money, give them a little bit of power, and make them feel like they're superior to the blacks that we have as slaves. At least we'll keep the blacks as slaves, and we'll technically keep some of the whites as slaves, but it'll be a different type of manner as slaves. Their job is to keep the blacks in control. Now, that might have went over your head a little bit, but that's pretty much what happened. So, they did that. Instead of killing off everybody that was going to revolt against them, they went to the whites and said, look, you're better than them. Don't trust them. Those they're animals. Okay? Because you're white, we'll accept you more and you can be here. They can never be here where I'm at. But you have a chance of being here. All you got to do is keep an eye on them and make sure they don't become here. And let them know that they're not like you because you're white. And that's how white privilege was created. It was pretty much an idea to keep blacks and whites, or to keep whites and minorities from joining forces and revolting against the rich. That's what white privilege is. It's not a tool, it's a tool to use to keep us arguing amongst each other. You know, it's for me to argue with you and say, hey, look, see how they treating me? And for you to go, well, you're equal to me. They would treat me the same way. And then we start arguing because I know for a fact they're not going to do that because they want me to say to you, look how they're treating me. You know, they're killing black kids left and right. So black people can protest and argue and say, hey, you see this shit out there, right? This is our fucking government, by the way. You see this shit out there, right? Why are you not doing nothing about it? And for whites to say, well, they're killing white folks too. You just don't see about it in the news. They're killing us too. You just don't see about it in the news. We're all equal. But we're not all equal. Because there's the division in this country. Rich, poor. If you're poor, you don't have the same equality as a rich man. That's just the bottom line. And for you to get the same equality as a rich man, you have to become a rich man. You can't be poor and get the same treatment as a rich man. You don't believe me? Simple fact.